Hi, I'm Paul Manager, Head of Financial Services at Google. Research data from Nielsen shows that creative alone can drive up to 49% of campaign success. However, despite its overall media campaign impact, creative quality is often considered to be more of a qualitative, subjective assessment rather than a critical contributor to the attainment of business and marketing objectives. As the video and digital marketing landscape continues to evolve and competition intensifies, financial services companies that have predominantly focused on performance marketing need to expand their approach to cover full funnel marketing. To be best positioned to realize the full business impact of quality creative through the entire funnel, it's critical that creative is optimized for the channel it's going to be placed on. More often than not, your stakeholders are not aligned on what works well on digital media. Video creative concepts tend to be made for TV, with digital video usually a later consideration, essentially an afterthought. With this approach, we risk missing the nuances and maximizing on the fantastic opportunities that digital provides. To achieve the desired campaign outcomes that drive the attainment of marketing and business objectives, it's critical that brands think beyond traditional media and ensure they foster a culture of collaboration and digital focus across all stakeholders, media agencies, creative agencies, and the client themselves, in order to develop creative that delivers impactful campaigns. Thank you. I'm now going to hand over to the next speaker.
Thank you, Paul, our financial services guru. Good day, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Anwar Jappi, Head of Industry here at Google. I work across several industries across the continent, seeing some trends and threads around what's happening across various businesses. And competition is growing. Financial services become a hotspot, and it's not just the traditional financial services brands that are leading. New and innovative entrants are coming up. On the continent, over $4.6 billion was invested in startups last year, and 62% of that went to fintechs. These digital-first companies find themselves in a very agile position, and they have one consumer segment usually in mind, making them really sharp around how they go to market. And often, the bureaucracy of what the bigger players are dealing with does not keep them back. They're looking for growth. The same growth some of the other traditional players are coming at. So retail and telcos are also focusing on financial services as a key growth area for them. How we've seen the consumer shifted is that Google searches have shown that over 500% increase in consumers looking for mobile banking options online. MasterCard has shown us that about 73% of bank consumers are really saying they're ready to pay with their mobile phones. And 44% of informal merchants have indicated that they're ready to start doing and using mobile payment apps. These trends means that differentiation is becoming much more important focus for brands as they're looking to occupy the meaningful space in consumers' minds. Technology is accelerating. The ability for brands to expand into new areas really allows them to borrow and take from what they have done really well and grow their marketing skill set, and focus on online branding specifically to do that. The branding is really key to differentiating and making sure that your marketing assets are sweated and working for you to drive your business objective online, ultimately leading to more leads and purchases online to really drive the bottom line and growth of your business. The challenge is there, the competition is there, but the tools are being made available to all players, big ships as well as the speedboats. It's up to you on how you want to lean in and use this digital transformation around using marketing to really accelerate your business, particularly from a branding point of view. Good luck, enjoy the rest of the session, and over to my colleague Zanele. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Zanele and I'm the YouTube lead for the SSA region. Today, I'll be sharing with you why YouTube is not only an important platform of choice from an advertising perspective, but also look at how YouTube is part of every customer's purchasing journey through the full funnel approach. We know that brands grow most effectively by converting existing demand as well as new demand. Therefore, in order for advertisers to continue to grow their businesses, they not only need to convert their in market customers with performance solutions, but they also need to drive awareness as well as consideration for their products and services with their brand media. But before we look at full funnel framework, let's have a look at why YouTube continues to be an important platform of choice for marketers. It's really been an extraordinary few years, one in which changes that were already underway accelerated dramatically, posing challenges and profound opportunities for companies. There isn't a single business that hasn't been impacted or forced to reconsider the way it reaches consumers and drives growth. In these extraordinary moments, more viewers have turned onto YouTube than ever before, and more brands are tapping onto YouTube to help them connect with their customers. YouTube is definitely the mainstream. Today, with video becoming an even more important part of our daily lives, the needs of viewers are evolving faster than ever. There are three user trends that we've seen that are standing out. Number one, people are streaming more content on TV screen. Secondly, users are viewing short-form content to inform and entertain themselves throughout the day. And the third trend that we see is that consumer shopping habits are shifting increasingly to digital. To meet these trends, we are looking to redefine the world and the way that people experience video. What we're also looking at as well is how creators and brands can connect with their audiences. You can think of YouTube as a global stage for video. Like any stage manager, our job is to create the best setting for our creators and the best viewing experiences for our audience, and ultimately creating new advertising opportunities for our brands. With the content being more demanded and consumed by audiences, it's really not surprising that we're seeing growth in Kenya, South Africa, and Nigeria in terms of platform reach numbers. And as an advertiser, you're able to reach more people on YouTube than ever before and have an opportunity of reaching an engaged audience across the marketing funnel. Despite the complexities of today's media and marketing landscape, not everything has changed. Marketing fundamentals are still the same as they've always been. The marketing version of the 80-20 rule and the heavy buyer fallacy still definitely holds true. The most impactful thing we can do to grow sales and market share is to reach new net potential customers with the right message as well as the right time. As we are vigilant about making sure YouTube remains at the forefront on responsibility, we are also committed to helping businesses to find new customers and drive growth. Just as YouTube has a video for everyone, we offer a spectrum of solutions that will help you meet all your marketing objectives. With unparalleled access to audience at scale and made for digital innovations only YouTube can provide, YouTube can drive the results that matter to your business. Advertisers who see YouTube as an essential for their plan, as it is for their viewers, are planning YouTube first and are already seeing great results. Buying YouTube across multiple objectives allows you to meet customers at different stages in the journey while effectively delivering towards a key business objective. This strategy allows creative and media to work together across the full funnel to create a new demand and convert the current demand. As we know, the path to purchase is no longer linear. It is critical for brands to meet customers at all points of purchase. There are always people in various stages of purchasing journey. Some people are in the early stages of their purchasing journey and are still trying to figure out what would be the best fit, whilst others are ready to take that final step of purchasing a product or a service. Focusing on just one stage misses out on creating and converting demand. What we've seen from research is that it shows that driving campaigns, inclusive of reach and performance-based campaigns, is quite beneficial for brands, and it yields positive results for reach, awareness, or performance perspective. Before implementing full funnel framework, it's important to first understand and assess your advertising methodology. If you're a brand or an awareness-focused client, for example, and your primary KPIs are reach and CPM, you'll need to integrate those KPIs and move further down to the funnel. And the recommendation here is that you adopt video action campaigns so that VAC is 15% or more of the total budget. A similar approach can also be taken for performance or action-based campaigns. In order to find new customers, it's important that you move up the funnel in creating a demand among new customers. And the recommendation in this instance is that you adopt video reach campaigns so that VRCs are 15% or more of your total budget. The full funnel process includes 5 easy steps, and these are planning, buying, creative, measurement, as well as results. When it comes to planning, we have a capability of using both Reach Planner as well as Performance Planner in order to better understand the expected delivery of a full funnel video campaign. Reach Planner will help you to better understand any campaigns and planning for CPM and CPV formats, which are upper funnel formats. And the Performance Planner is a tool that can best support CPA-based or what we refer to as performance-based campaign. Once the planning process has been defined and you've decided on various components such as budget, duration, and target market, for instance, the next phase is the buying process. It's best practice to ensure that you're using a combination of CPM and CPA-based formats for most efficient and conversion volume of any combination. And as I mentioned earlier, an important recommendation is that a 15% allocation to drive results should be allocated to drive upside from each campaign as per research. Our creative approach remains the same, and the full funnel approach still needs to implement the ABCDs of YouTube best practice. Let's walk through what the ABCDs stand for. A is for attract, which is ensuring that you capture close-ups of your product or service. B is for brand early, to set the tone and hook audiences in order to recall your message. And C is for connecting with your audiences by leveraging fast pacing and storytelling hooks to sustain your viewers' attention. And then lastly, D is ensuring that your message is direct by including a call to action in driving impact. Archel will further unpack the ABCDs later, specifically for finance. Once you've completed your planning, buying, as well as creative, the next step is to set up your measurement, and this will include using both ads attribution as well as unique reach report for a full picture. A unique reach report will enable you to measure the incremental reach. And in this report, you'll be able to see cross-format reach that was attained for both performance and CPM-based formats. The Google Ads Attribution Report will then demonstrate how the upper funnel video impacts the lower funnel media. Advertisers that adopt both CPM and CPA are converting new demand. A full funnel YouTube strategy drives 10% higher return on investment compared to only awareness advertising, according to Nielsen. We're already seeing great results of brands across our global portfolio who are testing and implementing full funnel network. Compara Online, which is a financial service leader in Brazil, saw great results with their first ever YouTube full funnel campaign strategy recently. The main aim of the business was to grow brand awareness. However, Compara was hesitant in making a significant investment on YouTube as they believed that branding doesn't necessarily bring new sales. The approach taken included a variety of formats, by including formats such as bumpers, non-skips, as well as video action campaigns. The campaign kicked off with a blast to generate awareness, whilst also running engagement campaigns in order to capitalize on leads. The results really speak for themselves. CPM formats helped to reach over 5 million users and generated great ad recall. The YouTube video campaign also drove searches as search for Compara grew by 176% year-on-year. And the business also saw that a 76% incremental conversions as well as a 29% conversion growth year-on-year. Now, there you have it. Full funnel approach allows you to reach the relevant audience who may be at various stages of their purchasing journey. We also saw how applying full funnel process, including planning, buying, creative, measurement, as well as results, can really assist in driving best practice. Please do reach out to your Google representative should you wish to further deep dive on this approach and explore ways in which you can apply full funnel approach in your next video campaign. Thank you for your time.
Greetings. My name is Otwell, and I'm Head of Creative for Google Sub-Saharan Africa. The Finance ABCDs are creative best practice for finance ads on YouTube. They are fueled by awareness and consideration insights based on brand lift surveys and are specific to the finance category. Please note that the ABCDs are not an instruction on how to execute creativity, or neither are they a checklist, but rather what we've observed based on data on YouTube. Our role isn't to instruct brands and creatives on how to tell great stories, but rather to share what we've observed with them. It's also important to note that there is no silver bullet. These are insights that should be accompanied with testing and experimentation. Now, before we jump into the finance ABCDs, let's take a look at the core ABCDs. Since 2017, we've made great strides in coding and identifying the top drivers of creative effectiveness, and this is how we have defined the ABCDs framework for YouTube. A is for attention. How do you hook and sustain attention within an immersive story? B, how do you brand early and often and richly? C is for connection. How do you help people think and feel something? And lastly, D, how do you ask them to take action? If you are not aware of the core ABCDs, please reach out to our Google representative who will be more than happy to take you through them. Now, do the ABCDs work? Yes. Good creative, powered by the ABCD, does drive business results. In partnership with Kantar, we found that not only do ads optimized for the ABCDs outperform, we see that adhering to the top ABCDs guidelines improves both short-term and long-term measures. This is great to see, as you can optimize your efforts for maximum impact in both the short-term and the long-term. Added to this, the more you tune your ad to a given marketing objective, the higher the performance. In the past 5 years, our research has consistently shown that there are very specific levers you can dial up to drive impact in each stage of the funnel. And this is aligned with what you want your consumers to feel, think, do as a result of seeing your ad. At the awareness stage, you want your brand and your product to get noticed so they can be remembered. At the consideration stage, you want to create desirability for your product and for your audience to see how it fits within their lives. At the action stage, you want to close the deal and get them to take action. We have yet to find one ad that can rule them all. In our experience, a single creative cannot effectively impact all stages of the funnel. And that's why we've built our creative guidelines specifically on marketing objectives. For the finance ABCDs, we will focus specifically on awareness. Now, what you see on screen are the learnings for videos which are effective in driving awareness for the financial vertical. As you look at the slide, you'll immediately notice two things. First, you'll see that the finance ABCDs are very much in line with the core ABCDs. This shows that the core ABCDs continue to be an applicable baseline principle for effective video creative. Secondly, we determined that certain insights are more pertinent and compelling for the finance vertical. Thus, you'll notice that while the insights are organized per the ABCD framework, they aren't ordered in the exact same way. As a result, the opportunity to tune up awareness for finance lies in 4 pillars. The first one, grab attention with immersive sights and sounds. The second one, Be clear and simple in order to establish trust and relatability, as they are key for connecting with the viewer. And the third one, put your brand front and center by branding from the start to the end using variety and frequency. And lastly, direct viewers to explore further without pushing urgency. Now let's take a look at each pillar in finer detail. Number one, grab attention with immersive sights and sounds. One of the key ways of getting noticed is by using audio and strong visuals to immerse the viewer into your story. This can be done by pumping up the volume, and by that I mean utilizing audio. Now, why does this matter? 95% of videos watched on YouTube are played with sound on. And while audio is endemic to YouTube, it's largely underutilized. Our research has proven that to create effective awareness ads, audio is a superpower. Indeed, it can be a force multiplier and can get viewers to truly pay attention. When we talk about audio, we mean voiceovers, dialogue, music, and other everyday category sound effects for finance, like tap to pay, credit card swipes, and even the sound effects of a cash register. Make visuals pop. Ensure visuals are optimized for mobile devices using bright colors and avoiding low contrast dull backgrounds. To stand out even further, consider adding more aspect ratio formats with portraits and square videos to your existing landscape videos. Remember, globally, more than 70% of watch time happens on mobile devices, so it's important to think mobile first. Leverage an emerging story arc. In our years of creative effectiveness research, we found that using an emerging story arc versus a traditional story arc is key to hooking viewers into your ad's opening moments. It's also important to use engaging pacing and tight framing of people and products to drop viewers in. Use supers as guideposts to your story and keep them large to land the message and drive awareness. But tread carefully, as too many competing audio and visual elements could be distracting and overwhelming to your users. Number two, trust and relatability are key to connect. In our listening tours, we heard from our client partners that trust was a key theme that financial institutes were faced with. In our research, we found that clarity and simplicity in your message are the most effective tools when it comes to building connection of trust and relatability. So, keep it simple. Making informed decisions is important for your viewers. However, they are not aware of everything. Our research shows that creatives which convey complex ideas in simple language tend to perform better. In addition to the simplicity, the language in which you convey also plays an important role. By using casual colloquial language, not only is the ad easy to comprehend, but ultimately makes it memorable, driving lift and awareness. Be direct. Ads which relayed the core offerings and message earlier in the creative tend to drive better awareness. If your product is new, call out the features and provide additional details right up front. If your product has tech features that aid in convenience or boost security, communicating them directly to the viewer proves to be more effective. While a lot of ads feature functional benefits, they don't perform as effectively as the ones that highlight features. We assume that this could be driven by finance being an extremely personal category, and thus personal benefits may not come across as relatable. Be approachable. Conversations between everyday people with real backgrounds and context has been seen to establish a sense of authenticity and relatability. Our research has also found that ads featuring traditional celebrities often aid in getting noticed and establishing trust for the brand. Number three, put your brand front and center. In order to take your branding efforts to the next level in driving awareness, frequency and variety of your branding assets is key. Introducing yourself early and branding often ensures you make lasting impressions. The earlier you brand, the better. The first 5 seconds are a critical branding moment for awareness. So introduce yourself before they skip. Also, frequency helps remind viewers who you are. Our research proved that integrating your brand 3+ times throughout the ad drives awareness lift. And is this a lot? Actually, it isn't. It's actually a bare minimum. Draw on all your brand assets. Use a wide palette of branding elements to fit your message and your objective. Naturally integrated products, logos, and audio cues all work together to help land your brand. Variety is key, from the logo, mascot, brand colors, mnemonics, etc. Use all your branding assets to drive brand associations and competitive differentiation. Branding frequently does not have to be about repeating your brand name. Your distinctive assets are great allies in driving frequency and variety in a more subtle and natural way. Reinforce with audio. YouTube is a 95% sound-on platform, and audio is a force multiplier for your brand. Similar to how strong a role audio plays for getting attention, we see that it is also a brand lift multiplier. Your brand will be supercharged when reinforced with audio, as it helps consumers to take notice and remember. So let them see and hear your brand. Number 4, direct viewers to explore. Let's talk about call to actions. Asking the audience to take action and directing them to do exactly what you want them to do is a positive factor across the marketing funnel. However, at an awareness stage for finance, it is best to direct the viewer to explore your brand and explore the product further. Few advertisers include call to actions in their ads. Not only is this a missed opportunity, more than often it hurts performance. Don't let the last precious seconds of your ad go to waste. Giving your audience a clear call to action is key to reinforce your message and encouraging them to act. Now, let's explore call to actions becoming call to explorations. Viewers like to make informed financial decisions, and exploratory call to actions enable them to learn about the brand and product offerings. Since you're introducing the brand and message, call to actions which have sense of urgencies like order now, buy today, don't perform as effectively. Focus on landing the message before asking immediate action. Reinforce your on-screen call to actions with voiceovers to ensure the ask lands. And those are the finance ABCDs. In summary, to incorporate the 4 pillars with the core ABCDs, you need to, 1, grab attention with immersive sights and sounds. Number 2, be clear and simple in order to establish trust and relatability, as they are key to connecting with the viewer. Number 3, put your brand front and center by branding from start to end by using variety and frequency. And lastly, direct viewers to explore further without having a sense of urgency. Thank you very much.